right, I will tell you a story, and it is an exciting one, too. It will be of special interest to the boys, so you fellas keep listening to Swaying Castle. Have you ever thought that you knew better than your parents? Honestly now, haven't you? Pat Neely and Vern Gilroy were two young friends who thought they knew better than their parents, and they were so sure that they were right that they deliberately disobeyed them. Here is their story. The boys lived near a large wooded area, and they were building a tree house in the woods. The tree house was almost completed. It was about a city block from each boy's home.
She sure looks neat, Vern. I can't wait till we move in.
Neither can I, Pat. I'd like to camp out here for a whole week. Here, hold this board till I nail it in place, will ya?
I wouldn't mind sleeping up here at all. This oak tree is as sturdy as any house. Let's do it, shall we?
Sounds good to me. This is the largest tree house I ever saw. It's real cool, isn't it, Pat?
That's for sure. Somebody asked me if I was planning to furnish my new house with early American furniture. I told him it would be real early pioneer stuff.
That's about it, too. Say, I've got an idea. Let's ask our folks if we can bring our sleeping bags and sleep here tonight.
Not tonight, Vern. My dad wouldn't say I could until he checked and made sure it was solid. I know he won't be able to come tonight.
Then I'll have my dad come out tonight and look it over. This is really neat. He'll be proud of how sturdy it is. There's a large crack in the wall, but I'll bring some roofing paper from our garage and cover it.
Do you have enough to cover the whole house?
I don't think so, but I'll ask my dad for enough to cover the roof. Do you think we should let some of the other fellows in here?
Not yet a while. Let's spend the night in it by ourselves before we ask anybody else.
I know all the fellows will think it's real cool. Let's give our house a name, shall we? We can paint it over the door.
Yeah, let's. Here's a shingle I can paint it on and nail it over the door. Here, just saw it in half. That's got it. What do you say we call this our castle?
What kind of castle? You can't just put castle on the sign.
No, I guess not. I'll think of something.
Feel that wind? It came up all of a sudden.
Yeah, now I know how a bird feels in a nest. This oak tree really sways.
That's what we'll call it, Swaying Castle.
Good deal. Let's quit now and go to your place for the roofing paper and paint for the sign.
Okay. It's about time for my dad to come home. I sure wish we could sleep here tonight. I'll ask my dad, and if he says I can, maybe your dad will too.
Like I told you, Vern, my dad would have to inspect it first. But I know what we could do. If your dad doesn't check it and say it's all right, then let's ask our folks if we can spend the night together. Your folks will think you're at my house, and my folks will think I'm at your house. Simple.
Suppose we get caught.
How could we? Your folks never call mine, and mine never call yours. We'll just take our bedrolls and say we're going to rough it on the porch or something, and we'll just come out here, okay?
It sounds good, but...
Come on, Vern. Are you chicken? We're not really lying. We are spending the night with each other. Come on. This tree house is just waiting for us to move in. It's safe. There's nothing wrong with it.
I guess you're right. Okay, let's. It's as strong as this house, Dad. It'll last 100 years.
You think so? Well, if you've used all the nails you took from the garage, it ought to. What about weatherproofing? Is it rainproof?
No, but I was going to ask you for some roofing paper. Can we take some along to cover it and sleep out there tonight? Could we, Dad?
Now, I don't know about that.
What is he saying? You aren't going to let him sleep out there, John. We haven't even seen that house yet.
Now, don't be upset, Martha. I'll be sure it's safe before I ever allow it.
But, Dad, it is safe. Come see for yourself.
Sure, Mr. Gilroy. Come out and see the house. It's as safe as this one.
Not tonight, boys. I have a board meeting to attend this evening. Someday soon I'll come out and check it for you. But until I do, I don't want you sleeping in it. If something came loose while you were sleeping, you could be in real trouble.
But nothing could come loose, Dad. She's solid.
I said no, Vern, and that settles it.
I knew he wouldn't let us. That treehouse is as solid as rock.
That's right. Nothing could budge it. Come on, Vern, let's do like I said. You ask if you can spend the night with me, and I'll ask if I can spend the night with you. We'll get our sleeping bags and meet at our treehouse, Swain Castle. What do you say?
Suppose our folks find out.
I doubt it, but if they do, they'll find out that there's no harm in it and that our treehouse is safe. What do you say?
Well, we aren't really lying about it. Okay.
Each boy received permission from his parents to spend the night with the other boy. As they planned, they took their sleeping bags and slipped off into the woods.
It worked real neat, didn't it, Vern?
Yeah, it did. This is great. That wind is rocking me to sleep.
Oh, me too.
Hey, Pat, it's raining.
Yeah. Hey, it's coming through the roof. It's dark.
Did you bring a flashlight?
No?
Pat, the roof is gone. I'm getting soaked. We'd better get out of here. Come on.
A bedraggled pair of boys stumbled through the woods toward home. Meanwhile, at Vern's house, the storm has awakened his parents. I've checked the windows in Vern's room, John. That rain is like a flood. It's coming down so hard.
That hit something. Let me take a look. Say, look over there. It looks like Neely's house is on fire. It's right in that area. Call them and see, Martha. I'll get dressed and go over and help.
Mrs. Neely, this is Martha Gilroy. We saw a fire and wondered, next door to you. Oh, I am relieved. Are the boys all right? Here? Oh, I know. I thought, Vern said he was spending the night with Pat. Do you suppose... I just thought about that treehouse. Just a minute, Mrs. Neely. Someone is at the door. John is answering it. Oh, it's the boys. They're just drenched. I'll call you back later. Oh, yes, they're all right. Goodbye.
Get out of those wet things, boys. I don't have to ask you. You were in the treehouse.
Yes, Dad.
Here are some towels to dry yourselves. I'll go make some hot chocolate.
Why didn't you stay there? Why did you come home, boys?
It rained in, and the roof came off.
I'm not surprised. You know you never built anything before. You really wouldn't know how to check it for safety. But there is something else more important. Why did you lie to your parents?
But we didn't lie, Mr. Gilroy. We said we were going to spend the night together.
You mean, Pat, that your words were correct. But what about your intentions? Didn't you deliberately let us believe a lie?
Yes.
Were you being honest?
No.
Why did you do it?
We were sure the treehouse was safe, and we knew you wouldn't care as long as it was safe.
But we would have to decide that, wouldn't we?
Yes, Dad.
There are two things wrong here, boys. You can't trust your treehouse, and we can't trust you. The Bible says, "Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right." God gave you parents because you need them. They know what is best for you. You have both practiced deceit. We trusted you. We want to trust you again, but you have shown us that we can't trust you.
Yes, you can, Dad. I'm sorry I lied to you.
Do you see that it was a lie, regardless of the words you chose?
Yes, I do. I knew it was wrong all the time.
I'm sorry too, Mr. Gilroy.
All right, then. As far as I am concerned, the treehouse is done for this year. I'll talk to Pat's father, and I'm sure he will agree that you will not be allowed to work on it any more this year. When you show us that you have sturdy, reliable characters, then we will see about building a sturdy, reliable treehouse. In the meantime, let's thank the Lord for keeping you safe and ask His help so you can live an honest life.